Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
Today we're going to start off with our review of White Lotus Season 2. And then we're going to go into our review of Gen V Season 2 Episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do a Let's Talk session where we talk with y'all about everything and anything. Big shout out to our 71 subscribers.
71!
Oh, and thank you for the reply, Kyle
Stelting?
Kyle Stelting in our Tron video.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a lot about modern politics and stuff, which is interesting. I didn't get to see the movie, but I can see where you're coming from. So very light movie in your opinion. Thank you for the comment, though. And big shout out to Maxson, one of our subscribers, a friend of mine, the king of Elden Ring. And all our 71 subscribers, big shout out to Triple Trouble, Void of Parrot, ZZ, Scott Walker, Kayla Marie, Jasmine, Music, Russian ID, Nun from Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Chan Hong, our #1 subscriber, of course. Thank y'all for always tuning in and staying with us.
Oh, Scott Walker, what's up?
So Walker in the building. Korean sausage tastes a little different, Walker. I guess a little sweeter, less salty. But we can talk about all that in less talk in about 50 minutes. This is going to be our review of White Lotus Season 2. Here we go. Yo, this shit was dark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, man, I was kind of caught off guard by... I mean, in Season 1, there is a murder. I mean, not murder, but a killing, of course. But here... just the machinations, the plotting, and the hypocrisy reaches a new level. And also, I love how they also added more details of, like, the transactional nature of love and sex. You know, because one of my favorite parts of the season is how Albie and Portia. You know, Albie especially has 21st century ideas. And Portia just seems like a good girl caught in a smartphone world. But they all end up deluding sex workers for love. And then they all get played. And then they learn their lesson. And I thought it was just great poignant moments.
Poignant?
I said poignant.
Okay.
I didn't say G. Motherfucker, fuck you. I said poignant. But fuck you with your smug face.
I'm sorry.
No,
just continue.
we promise we won't gonna do each other. Don't wake the dragon up, man. Don't wake the dragon up. But I did like because it's also about that marriage. You know, about power and love. So, and another element I did like. I love it when third generation, second generation Americans go visit the old country and get disappointed. Oh, what's up, Void in the building?
They all expect the Godfather moment when they're welcomed by their ancestors and their relatives.
It just speaks to, like, how. And another thing I loved about this season is this season, of course, reminded me of Sopranos a lot.
And also, it helps to see Michael Imperioli playing a key role here.
I mean...
our Chris Moltisanti.
Yeah. But you know what was heartwarming, though? The Italian family, I do feel like, found some redemption and growth.
Hold on, Italian family?
The Italian-American family.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about...
the Chris Imperioli family.
Yeah. The grandfather, the father, and son.
It was kind of squeaky from the beginning, but... it eventually, I think, smooths out.
I wouldn't say smooth out, because it's a question mark on whether they will change for the better. They just started to. Whereas the Nua Rich and the investor fuckers, they don't grow at all. All they do is reconfirm their sociopathy, manipulating. The only way you feel you can, bang your wife is banging another husband's wife. And they maintain that hypocrisy till the end. So I felt like the overall series was dark, but I did like how the Michael Imperioli's family's arc ended, because it's very slightly optimistic, like cautiously optimistic, whereas the other ones, they don't redeem at all. Mm-hmm. But I can't forget the two prostitutes. You know, we can't help but cheer them on a little bit, while, you know, they're like Les Miserables on steroids, where they literally rob the rich, and we're like, that's karmic payment, baby. I love that term. I'm like, yeah, give them the money. Like, you don't I mean, I'm not saying they act any better, but at least we feel like, yeah, maybe they should get an extra buck, while you piece of shits, you know, you don't deserve nothing. You know,
especially after watching the first seasons, because we know wherever these rich people go, devastation follows. So here, I was also glad to see them have like a sort of like a happy ending. Those two prostitutes. And I especially grew fond of the one playing the piano.
Yeah, she accidentally mollied the other piano. Because it's that Sopranos element and Goodfellas element, because it doesn't necessarily paint, you know, the poor as like good people. You know, they're just as complicated and competitive. They could be
manipulating.
And even the hotel manager, she shows so many sides, because
I wish she had more screen time.
I thought it was just appropriate, to be honest, for me.
Because I thought she could also be a very intriguing character there. Because maybe it's because like coming from season 1, we expect the manager to play a key role. But here, I think compared to what was his name? Armand. Yeah, compared to Armand, she didn't get as much focus.
Well, I thought the opposite. I thought she got the proper focus in the fact that I think she's an intentional opposite of Armand's angle, where, you know, because you see her have this job that's very stressful. Her employees are very negligent, but the thing we see about her in the beginning is how she gives food to the cats. And she's also a lesbian. You know, Armand is gay too, but when this lesbian manager, she plays the game, so to speak, a little bit, she's rewarded with opportunity to meet other lesbians. You know, so I thought that was a opposite inversion of Armand's angle, where, you know, socially marginalized group do get to find some happiness while you know, balancing out their chaotic life. I mean, of course, the sexual thing wasn't really like outright though, like just for White Lotus season 1 and 2. But here, what I did like was, I liked their story a lot, actually, because I'm glad that she also had that mature conversation with the prostitute, because I felt like she was smitten a lot. But she's adult enough to know that when, like Mia says, I'm actually not a lesbian, but it still gave enough hopeful.
Yeah, even before she hooked up with Mia, what was the name of the reception girl that she was interested in?
Yeah, her.
And she basically, once she realized that the other guy was her fiance, she just. Broke everything. I mean, not instantly, but she kind of gracefully exited the whole picture, and I think that was also very mature.
Yeah, and she was arguably the most innocent person in the whole hotel, because that brocade gifting girl, like, if I would fire her if I was her, like if I was the other way around. And you could argue she was showing favoritism. But overall, you know, we have a bunch of gray characters. Like, she's one of the light gray ones, because we see darker ones now, like the gay, like, hit mob, like, you know, like those disgusting snobs. And of course, we cannot forget to mention the piece of shit Greg.
Greg. I had so much grudge against Greg towards the end of the season, because I really didn't want to see Tanya go.
Yeah.
And oh man.
And you know what I liked about that? This season arguably did a better job than season 1, where they confused us on whether we should like this character or not. Because at least in the first 3 episodes, we kind of feel sorry for Greg. He's obviously in a loveless marriage by a very...
He's not even allowed to finish.
Yeah. A very needy, manipulative wife. But near the end, we're like, okay, that's going too far, though. And whereas the other characters... Portia was really likable.
Yeah. She, I think, portrayed the overworked, stressed out, nowhere to vent assistant role really well.
No, and another thing I want to say about White Lotus is, you know how people change when they go abroad? When it's a trip, they try to, be another version of themselves in a way where, they're not bound by, their so to speak, normal life. And here, I thought they portrayed, like, the travel bliss really well. Because they're all trying to lose themselves. Michael Imperioli gets 2 prostitutes. And, their grandpa is so lecherous. And, so, like, have a super fantasy. Like, that's what you do in vacation. You want to, like, relieve your stress. And Albie, like, meanwhile, looks for love and... sort of kind of finds it, but also learns a valuable lesson. It's like Journey. And overall, it was still a dark journey, though. Because the ending is... I wouldn't call it a happy ending. That's just my personal opinion. So let's talk about that boat killing spree.
I guess that was very ironic. I think that was a very ironic ending. That was like irony at its best.
What do you mean?
Because we eventually we have to sit and watch and be appalled by the prospect of Tanya being like basically murdered by Quentin and his thugs. But we get a twist. She basically takes out the whole team with the
Rambo
gunshots.
style.
Yeah. So there's that irony there, but there's even greater situational irony when we see her getting herself killed, like slipping off the boat and hitting her head.
But that's also very Tanya-like. She's not meticulous at all.
She was so close to making out of that alive, but
no, but she still would have faced like first-degree murder charges by the Sicilian police, like if they're doing their job, because those were
what did that
okay, maybe
the guy said, like some very powerful people in Sicily.
Yeah, but those were not manslaughters. Let's just say that. I don't know if it's first or second degree, because depending on how much danger you were. But remember that guy got shot in the back and look at you like that. That's straight up murder. Morte. So like Tanya wasn't gonna go anywhere. Like her $500 million wouldn't have saved her from court. Well, at least that's my opinion. I don't know how the legal system is in Sicily, but so that was horrifying.
Yeah, but I thought it was also hilarious because of that irony right there. Man.
Yeah. So overall, so favorite character, favorite scenes.
My favorite.
I can tell you my least favorite. That investment guy. That fucker.
Cameron?
Yeah.
The guy from The Gentleman, the TV show Gentleman.
Yeah.
The guy who was like a duke.
Yeah, he's such a piece of shit. Like, I honestly wish he drowned. Like, I'm sorry, but these are fictional characters, so I get to vent. Like, yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. Like, he's one of those, leechers.
I was thinking about Leech, like, in my head right now.
And because
Parasite.
Yeah. And her wife and the power game they play. You know how that corrupts the new rich?
Ethan.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, in the airport, the new rich are so horny after that, like that power surge. Because I'm guessing he banged his wife.
It just hinted. because they go to that island, and we're not really told what happened next, but we can just assume that's what happened.
And this show is one of the best shows I saw in recent years that shows how sex is also about power.
I guess this is like the central piercing theme throughout the whole season. It's about sex and its power, like you said, transactional nature of it, because we also see Lucia and Michael Imperioli, what was their family? Di Grasso family or something?
Grasso.
Yeah. Them and...
No, but it's also a burden. Just like that man hooker having to fuck his quote-unquote uncle. So, like, sex is also used for favors, but the price you pay for it. That's why I like Lucia a lot, because she's someone who has no illusions about what she does. You know, she sees sex for what it is. And I do think the show did a great job of showing that she's not really a bad person, though, because I do feel like the camera work and the way they portrayed her face when she left Albie, like, she felt guilty about Albie. And you know what I respect about Albie? Albie was a good guy because he knew he was possibly being played.
Yeah, I think he just gave her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, so he tried to believe what was on the surface, but he wasn't a complete fool. He expected that something like this could happen.
But it's also ironic because it is his dad's money, not yours. And then he's like, Dad, pay the karmic payment. And I loved Michael Imperioli's face acting at that moment. He's like, Shiba.
He's so right.
But still wrong, too, because, I mean, I bet Michael Imperioli wanted to shout out of his lungs, I pay for everything. I am the breadwinner. Like, you know, but he has to, like, cause so that was what's great about the Grasso families, because I feel like everybody. Oh, and the nosy grandfather was funny too.
The Murray Gray Abraham, and I guess this extends that transactional element, because I think Albie urged Michael Imperioli to pay up in exchange for putting in a good word about him to his mother.
No, but the show is also asking us: isn't all love transactional? You know, and we also get a lot of different views because, you know, and this second season was more complex than season one. The fact that we get a more direct confrontation between like older generation value and new values, and it's almost criticizing them both.
Yeah.
In the fact that like the new generation is delusional in the fact that, oh, it's the fucking patriarchy, but well, Albie, what you're doing is pretty patriarchal too, because you're being chivalristic, and trying to save this damsel in distress. Except one of the most beautiful like scene of this season is Lucia don't need you, motherfucker. She's roaming down the street with Mia like, fuck yeah, got the money, baby.
The boss.
But we also see a criticism of the older generation where the show is asking us, shouldn't they accept some new values too? Where, you know, because Michael Imperioli wants to get back with his wife, and the fact that his a daughter hates him bothers him, you know. So, and he has a sexual compulsion, but I felt like the show was not really super critical of him of that, because everybody's showing sexual desire. Remember the airport scene where the three generations of the
they all turn their heads to see check out this woman.
So the show is kind of saying, but really, guys, like sex is such a primal desire. Don't you have it? You know, and it's also a question of like chastity too, because you know, the piano guys like outright asked for like sexual favors, and then he gets punished. And I think that's why the hotel manager is likable, because she's the only one who doesn't play that game. And I think she's rewarded for it in the show's like karma, because she doesn't actually. I think she believes in genuine love, and that's something. And that's why it's beautiful when Portia asks for Albie's number. Like, oh shit, we've been both fucked over. You find common ground through the common pain.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because it's because from the beginning to the end, we see like how what can I say, through the journey that they go through, how they basically have a very different attitude towards these encounters.
So overall, I gotta say, another thing I want to praise from this season is the shots. I love how they portray Sicily.
It was beautiful. It makes me want to go there.
It also felt like sort of a Greek island of orgies. Like, you know, when they go to the mansion, and I just love how the show was almost signaling us that these humans were reaching their primal urges, kind of going into this, hell/paradise, because it is, and there were also a lot more symbolism in that, because Cameron and what's the other guy's name?
Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan. They get baptized, but you know the cruel thing about their baptism is there's no John. It's them two male elephants getting baptized together, and they come up like with harder dicks. So it's sort of this dark, power horniness. Just like you know how Soprano feels better after he fucks the secretary of a paper company that he works for or whatever. So it's sort of this Pripedic, Pripus, was it? Like the big dick Greek god. Roman god. So it just had that Roman Empire image there, and with some Christian themes too. You know, because Lucia, one of the things I love is Lucia and what's her name again?
Mia.
Yeah, Mia. We're gonna get punished, but fuck that! Let's rob these dickheads.
That's right.
Yeah. So I love that. One of the best moments is when Lucia says, "Oh, Mia, we're gonna get punished." I'm like, "You don't give a fuck, do you? Though? Stop pretending." And then so there's that's why I gotta give a lot more credit to season 2 than season 1. Just I felt like season 1 possibly had it, but season 2 just presented these multiple themes: sex, money, power, religion, morality, ethics, the human condition. Are we animal? And sex and power, all those things really well. And I gotta say, I think different people might have different interpretation about it, but the finale was both satisfying and disappointing at the same time, though, for me.
Which part was especially disappointing for you?
I think it was too ambitious, possibly. Like it tried to hit that, gay guy murder club crescendo, kind of offset all the other things. But I think some storylines were just stronger than others. Like, I think Portia one was a little rushed. Not rushed, but
kind of rough. Around the edges.
Rougher than the other one.
It wasn't exactly polished.
Yeah. Oh,
Zizzy, what's up?
Oh, Jesus. No, it's all right. So, what about your favorite scene?
I guess my favorite scene was that crescendo that you just talked about. On that boat where Tanya realizes...
So Tanya is your favorite character?
No. My favorite character here would be... I don't know. It's kind of difficult to just pick out one. But I did like Lucia and Mia, the two. And I also like the Harper, Ethan's wife. The one played by Aubrey Plaza. I like Aubrey Plaza's character because I think her character was more relatable to us, I think.
Yeah, she was playing that everywoman.
Yeah. Because, like you said, they're new money, basically. Nouveau riche.
Yeah.
So, we can see in the beginning of the season that both Ethan and Harper are kind of uneasy, kind of anxious about this whole world of rich people paradise.
You know what the message was there? Being rich ain't shit. Like, I enjoyed my power, and they get horny again. Like, it's not all that's cracked up to be. So I like that, but please continue.
Yeah, and her reactions to what's his name, piece of shit, Cameron.
Yeah.
And his wife,
Mm-hmm.
Daphne. Yeah, Cameron and Daphne. And I remember that dialogue when they say that they don't follow the news, and Harper is kind of shocked. Her reaction is like a shocked reaction to it, and that's the exact reaction I had. So I guess she's meant to be that, like you said, everyday woman character who's more relatable to us.
Well, she starts that way because she started from the bottom. Now we're here. But at the same time, though, one of the tragedies of the show is that once she gets corrupted, she's happier now. Like, it's, oh, fuck yeah, fuck me, husband. Like, now that I fucked that piece of shit, she just shows the how money really corrupts you. Whereas the Grasso family is about how money can still be used possibly redemptively, even if it's for selfish reasons.
Oh, really. Yeah, and that reminds me, I also like Chris Imperioli's character, because I could see that he was genuinely trying to make a change in his life after going through that going through those two
no, but Sopranos taught us all those AA meetings. Still, you got to get back on the drug. It's about the lifestyle you choose, compulsion, and so. And Albie is a reflection of his education and his father's education, and so. Anyway, my favorite scene was actually I have a lot of favorite scenes. So also another favorite scene of mine is the piano, when Mia plays the piano.
Oh.
And she sings the song, and Lucia is happy for her. Like it's that beautiful moment, Won-Jin, where your class or what you do doesn't matter. You come together through music, and at that moment, listen. After that moment, the struggle will start again because they started killing each other again. But at least at that moment, they were all happy. So there was this. This show was so good in that, what connects us and what divides us, kind of thing. I think that she slept with that guy just to validate the fact that she still loved her husband, even if their relationship wasn't in the honeymoon phase anymore. Yeah, because Ethan also doesn't fuck Mia, so it is in a weird way, like because the thing about Ethan is when he's faithful, he's punished, but when he breaks faith, he's rewarded. So that's also another inversion of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, because when she doesn't fuck Mia, he gets immediately everyone suspects him, and he's already punished. But once he fucks the wife of Cameron, suddenly everything's okay. So it's sort of this twisted, like, very real life, like, just like, remember in that scene in Goodfellas when Henry beats up the other guy? Like, that the wife, that harassed the wife. But the wife in the narration says, I know this is wrong, but my God, this motherfucker's so hot. It's that our secret desire that contrasts with our, like, stated morality and ethics that we should keep. That's why Ethan is punished for his rejection of the whore, the prostitute, but he is rewarded once he breaks that taboo. So it's this incredible. But at the same time, when Albia and Portia, goes for, like, pleasure, satisfaction, love, they are punished too. So there's multiple angles to this.
And I especially they already did a great job with season 1, but I also gotta appreciate how well the creators portray the subtle nuance of this human psychology. Especially when each of these characters interact with one another. And every time the Harper and Ethan and Cameron and Daphne couple show up on screen, I can kind of sense, like, the tension and the unsaid shit that is going on.
Yeah, and also I want to add to what you're saying. Cameron pays Lucia the remaining money he owed after he gets fight in the ocean, right? So he's another karmic payment. You know, because I think he seriously thought about shorting them. But he decides to do the right thing with those moments. So to add on to your human complex relationship, you know, I believe like even the toughest motherfucker in private reflects on what he or she did. And these people, they're not perfect. They're gray, dark gray actually. But all of them sort of recognize that I may have done something wrong and try to do right. But of course that right is always never sufficient. Because and another thing is they're also trapped in this world. Because White Lotus wouldn't be a business unless rich people come there.
That's right.
You know, so there's also the commentary on how the system is unforgiving and it's still there. And you each have to find your own redemption one way or another. Void. It was implied that Daphne's kid has a different biological father, right? Because of the photo they showed Void. I didn't think of that, but actually that's possible, I guess.
I think it is kind of implied when she talks to Harper about like this infidelity thing that she has with the coach in the gym.
No, but these people, they lie so much that they forgot to tell the truth. So it's hard to believe them. Like Ethan, because remember, the difference between the Cameron couple, the reason why you feel more for Harper, Won-Jin, is probably because we get to hear the internal monologues of Harper and Ethan, whereas Cameron and Daphne, we never get to see their internal monologue.
And I love the setup. You know how they're sharing this like wall that has a door that leads to each other's bedroom, which is very strange.
No, so the show is implicitly making a side with Harper and Ethan's position more, because we never get to hear Daphne and Cameron have that moment of vulnerability. Every time we see them, it's them in a social setting. Whereas, you know, Daphne and Ethan, we see them from the very first episode, the second one, where Ethan comes back from run and watching porn, and Harper comes back, and Harper tries to dress up sexy the next day.
And we can see that she's kind of insecure about like the whole physical attraction thing, like disappearing and diminishing. And I love how subtly they show us what's going through Harper's head whenever she sees Cameron and Daphne like having a banter. They're still kind of flirting with each other.
But you gotta also remember,
and we can kind of see that she's trying to convince herself that that's all a facade and that's fake.
And well, I don't think Harper and Ethan's line were subtle at all. They were shown they're vulnerable. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. The whole show is subtle and had implication. I felt like Ethan and Harper's one was where we got to see the emotional turmoil behind it. Because you remember, like you said, like how they try to break the facade is they have that conversation multiple times in front of us. But near episode 6 and 7, we do start to see those cracks. Or at least we think it is. But we don't know whether that is a real crack or not, because Cameron and Daphne never tells us. But the implication is there is, because Daphne and Cameron is an upgraded version of the new rich, because they've been rich for longer, that their hypocrisy is total. What I mean by that is Daphne has to take even when she takes Ethan to the secluded island, she never exposes her emotion completely. So the reason why I say this show is a little bit tragic, their angle is, by the airport scene, Ethan and Harper has become Cameron and Daphne. That's the tragedy of it. That's not a redemption. It's an upgrade to evil. Once we become more evil, power hungry, and infidel, we can maintain this fake. Whereas the Grassos are, I think, a little bit more self-conscious. No, but again, there's no right answer. This is just my interpretation. I found that interesting. I could see Harper's feelings on her face so strong that I could totally understand everything she was feeling. Yeah, and Zizzy, remember, like, I wouldn't say Ethan and because Ethan and Harper are also not nice people. Because remember how Harper decides to insult Cameron? You're an idiot. And Ethan crosses the line by saying, "Fuck social decorum. Where the fuck I'm gonna beat you up? I'm gonna kill you." So you could argue that Cameron and Daphne are bigger people, because they might be thinking like, we've seen this before. Like we've been through all this. Now they're just reaching our evilness. So that's why they keep the professional face on at the end. Yeah, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Anyways, so
why don't you give a number grade first, my brother?
Number grade, I would give this season. I think I can give it a 10. Because because it was a very good season, and I also like the ending. You know, the shootout and the inadvertent suicide. Yeah, that was hilarious and also very ironic. And you know, I like how all these the seasons, they kind of start with this flash forward. They begin with the murder or the dead body. And then it goes back in time. So I like the flash forward thing. Let's see. I could see Harper's feelings on her face so strong that I could totally understand everything she was feeling. Yeah, I guess the writers intended that. I think it's intentional that they put so much focus on Harper. That was the central piece of the second season.
I'm going to give it a 9. The only reason I'm doing that is to even it out to 9.5. So would I call it a 10? Maybe, maybe not. But it was a great show. Made me think about a lot of things. Because I thought a lot after watching this show. Like, it made me think a lot about life and its paradoxes, its ironies. You know, Tanya going bullets and bombs on everyone, then falling in the water like an idiot. Yeah. Gangsta! Thug life's one of the reasons I love life. Tanya, baby. Oh,
I was so sad to see Tanya go, because I was really hoping to see her in season 3 as well.
Yeah, but
because she's the only recurring character in this season. I mean, along with Greg. Yep,
and Greg gets the money, right? I think that's the implication. And like Won-Jin told me privately, he doesn't even share it with his
his accomplices are dead.
Yeah.
So he gets to keep the money for himself.
So JoeJinMovieSoAwesome gives White Lotus season 2 a 9.5. A superior version of season 1. Not that I didn't enjoy season 1.
Yeah, season 1 was still excellent.
I feel like season 1 was better at being claustrophobic. Like, I'm trapped with these people, whereas here it was a little bit more open. And I don't know, it gave a different mood, I guess.
And when I watched season 2 without having any knowledge of what it was going to be about, I was so happy that this was becoming like an anthology, you know, with every season being like a different story with different people. Yeah.
Well, so far it's a better anthology than True Detective. Oh, I give it 7.9. Well, you got a reason why it's not an 8? Zenzi, I binge it, I'll give it a 9. Okay, 9. 7.9 is saying it's good, but it's not super high grade, I guess. No, but season 2 I'll actually watch again. I feel like and I do have to say though, it is a slow build. It is a slow build.
It always is.
And I'm right in the middle of the first episode of season 3. So
okay, I liked it too.
So are we gonna keep saying fuck Greg until we die?
Yeah, I liked season 1. I like season 2. I like season 3. White Lotus. This has been an excellent show.
I mean, White Lotus season 1 felt more like a social experience, whereas this one felt a lot too much like reality, man. Like, because the show is not hopeful in that saying. I don't got it. I don't got an answer for these problems. I know it's there. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to take a short break and come back to talk about Gen V Season 2. Void, you can give us your answer later at Let's Talk. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We'll see you in a bit. 9.5, White Lotus Season 2. Bye. Big shout out to our 71 subscribers, baby.
The whole time I watched Season 2, I felt such a heavy pressure and uncomfortable vibe. Yeah, I guess that's also what Harper was probably feeling just being in that resort. The screenwriting and plot was good, acting was stand out, but it was a bit tropey and a little campy. Okay.